Guys, it's me, it's Queen Heru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask An Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Now, I got a message last night. I think it was in the comment section, and it was from a woman, and she's a Pisces. She said that she was in a relationship with an Aquarius for 5 years. The Aquarius asked her to move out. She moved out, but they were still seeing each other on his terms, she said. Now he doesn't want to see her at all and says that he's with somebody else. And she wants me to tell her, what do I think she should do? Well, I know you're in love with this person, but what you haven't noticed is that this relationship has been systematically falling apart. At the moment that he asked you to move out, it was starting to, it's like what I call fading to black. So it's slowly fading back. So first they ask you to move out, then they only see you when they feel like it. Now he's seeing somebody else, or might be seeing someone else. He might have just said that, just to back you off. Sometimes Aquarius will do that. But what you have to notice here is the behavior. His behavior pattern is of someone who is backing out of the relationship. So even though he'll see you, or he did see you when he felt like it, he was already done with the relationship when he asked you to move out. He just asked you, he kept seeing you afterwards because he wanted something from you, whatever it was, companionship, sex, conversation, whatever, you know? So he's already done with this relationship. He's been done since you moved out. So what it's time for you to do, when you said, what should I do? It's time for you to get closure and start to move on, because he's done. And even if he, continues to let you see him when he feels like it on his terms, he's already done with the relationship. He's already decided that it's not going anywhere. So he might entertain you when he feels like it. But I wouldn't allow anybody to treat me like their option. And that's basically what he's doing. He's acting like he has an option to hang out with you when he feels like it. So it's time for you to get closure. It's time for you to come to terms with the fact that this relationship is pretty much over. And if it's not all the way over, it's dying a slow death. So it's time for you to come to terms with the fact that the relationship is not anymore. And it's time to let go. That's the closure aspect. Some people say, well, how do you get closure? Basically, by deciding that it's time to move on in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit. And because you're in love with this person, or you think you're in love with this person, because I'm questioning the dynamics of the relationship. I'm wondering, like, are you in love with him? Are you codependent? Are you in love, but he's not in love? I'm wondering what the dynamics are. But the bottom line is that he is showing you that he is not in love with you. He's showing you by his actions that he wants to come out of the relationship. And like I said, him engaging is just because he needs something at that moment that no one else can fulfill. And if he truly does have another girlfriend and she is fulfilling that energy, you'll more than likely never see him again unless she makes a mistake or messes up or something like that. Or you have something that she can't fulfill, such as he needs money and she doesn't have it. He wants to spend time and she can't spend it, something like that. This is a very selfish situation. And Aquarius, who are in their gray to negative form, have a tendency to be selfish. And he's being very selfish. He is, dealing with you on his terms, what he feel like it, what he get from it is all me, 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 me. And in your case, I'm like, nah, don't let that go down. It's time for you to get closure and back away. It's time for you to let go. And it is probably, a lot of times people tell me when it's time to move on, it's difficult. I understand that. But it's even more difficult when you hang on to a ship that's sinking. This is the Titanic and it is going down. So you have to jump off the ship or you're going to drown. That's the bottom line. You're going to drown. And I know that's not easy. You're a Pisces, so you're going to definitely go through some emotional changes behind this situation. But you're making it harder on yourself by holding on to somebody who don't want to be kept. The old folks always say you can't hold on to somebody who don't want to be held. This Aquarius does not want to be held. He wants to be free, unless, of course, he needs or wants something. So you need to just let that shit go. You need to work on your emotional process, whatever that is. All of us go through a different emotional process. It does hurt. It feels like ripping a Band-Aid off. It stings for quite some time. Some of the times it feels like literal death. It just depends on how, in love you really are, or how attached to him you really are. But that's your best bet, is to get closure and let go, because this is only going to continue to hurt you. If you continue on this process with him, it's only going to continue to hurt. So I wouldn't try to get him to come back to me. I wouldn't do any of that, because with an Aquarius, you really can't change our minds. Once we've made up our minds about something, that's pretty much it. Only we can change our minds. So I wouldn't try to change his mind about this. I would let him go. He's showing you in every way possible that he wants to be let go. So let him go. Let him go. Get yourself together. Heal thyself. Work on thyself. Manifest someone else. Move on with your life. It really is that simple, even though the process, the emotional process, is not simple at all. But the steps to do it are always the same. Release. Heal. Forgive, move on, So you're going to release him, release the situation, let it go. Stop hitting him up. Stop pulling through. If you have to, block his ass on everything. If he's still hitting you up, asking for shit, or asking you to come over, or wanting stuff from you, sever your ties with him. Sever all of your ties and let him go. Because like I said, he's going to use you as long as you let him. As long as you let him use you for what he needs, he's going to keep doing it. So I would just sever my ties. Allow myself time to heal, forgive him, release him, and move on with your life. There's other fish in the sea. But right now, while you're, focused on this one energy who's not worth your time, anybody that is that selfish and is going to treat you like that is not worth your time. You see? He's not evolved enough to even realize that him doing this is hurtful to another person, or to care that what he's doing is hurtful to another person. So you need to back up off this gentleman before he hurts you anymore. Okay? I hope it helps. See you later.